Hi, this is Dalene McDonald with McDonald's Sewing and Vacuum, and I am going to show you how I stitch on t-shirts. They can be a little bit tricky, so the first thing that I want to do, I'm actually going to stitch on a t-shirt sleeve. Urban Threads is one of my favorite websites for designs. And they have some designs that look like tattoos, so I'm going to put one of those tattoo designs on the sleeve. Now to do that, I have to create a flat surface, not a tube. So I've taken out the stitching on the sleeve and all the way, most of the way down the side of the shirt so that I can open it enough that I can get all the way up to the shoulder, a flat space. As you can probably tell, I've already fused some stabilizer to the sleeve. So what I do is cut a piece of fusible poly mesh stabilizer and fuse it to my t-shirt before I start stitching. It just makes it so much easier to hoop when you do that. You don't have a piece of stabilizer going one direction and your fabric going the other direction. They stay together. Okay, and then some of the other things that I like to use when I'm doing t-shirts, Dime came out recently with a new product called the Hoop Mat, and this is awesome. It looks like a cutting mat, so you have to make sure, be careful that you don't use it a cutter with it, because that's really not what it's designed for. What it does is make it so that your hoop doesn't slip around when you're trying to put something on when you're trying to hoop something. So I'm going to put the base of my hoop on the end of my ironing board that has the Dime hoop mat on top of it. The hoop I'm going to use is the one that I prefer, which is a magnetic hoop. It's also created by Dime. And then there's one more piece of preparation I want to do here to my shirt. I'm going to take the shoulder seam and the sleeve and line it up as if it was stitched back together so I can find the center of the sleeve. And then I'm going to mark with a dot. One of the other products I love from Dime is these little target stickers. If I'm doing a lot of embroidery and you walk into the store, I'll probably have one or two on me. I used to joke that I have to be careful in this part of the country because there are concealed carry laws, so you never know who's going to bring something out and point it at you. I don't know. I'm just joking. But anyway, I like the target stickers because they have a little arrow showing which direction's up in case you get confused, which sometimes you can. So in this case, I'm just going to slip the arm over the hoop, over the base of the hoop, and I'm going to pull it down so that I can get the t-shirt, the top of the t-shirt or the top of the sleeve where I want it, which is not too far from the top of the hoop. So I'm just kind of going by feel here. I have it roughly in the middle of the hoop, and I've got my stabilizer and just the t-shirt. Now I'm going to put my magnetic hoop, the magnetic part of the monster hoop on, the snap hoop on, just like that. It's a little wonky, so the fabric's a little bit wonky, and I don't have my stabilizer pulled all the way over here, so make that nice and smooth and let that fall down onto the hoop. And I'm just kind of readjusting here. You can do that with one of these hoops. You can adjust your fabric in the hoop a little bit without pulling it out of warp and weft. And there we go. I'm ready to take it over to the sewing machine and stitch. This is Dalene again, and I'm getting ready to stitch this design out on my t-shirt sleeve. So I'm going to show you how I line it up. If you can't see this very well, I'd be happy to give you a demo in the store. Anyway, I'm going to choose actually the center of the design, and I'm going to move this all the way up to the top of the design. And one of the things that I love about this, the Epic, is how far I can zoom in. So I want to go to the needle or to the stitch and look at how close I can actually get. I can get all the way down to the stitch level. Okay, so now I know that's where the needle is going to be the highest on this design. So I'm going to zoom back out, and I'm going to press number 2, and this time I'm going to be moving this items around, the design around on the screen, but that's also going to help me align it over here on the t-shirt sleeve. And I can go tiny, tiny increments with these arrows on the wheel. Okay, that's looking pretty good there. And now I'm going to go up until it's kind of right about on that center line. That's where I want it to line up. Okay, so I've got it positioned the way I want it. Now I'm going to take the target sticker off because I don't want it to be a permanent part of my t-shirt, even though I do that, do stick them on myself. Then the other thing I like to do with t-shirts, because they're a little bit soft, is use some water-soluble stabilizer on the top. And then I'm just gonna, I already had my thread ready to go, so I'm just gonna let it stitch a first color, and I'm just gonna kind of hold on to this stabilizer until it gets tacked down. And then once it's finished stitching, I will show you how to finish it up. Hi everybody, it's time now to sew my t-shirt together. And I want to show you, I actually like to use, I love this little glue pen by Bohin of France. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it, but anyway. It's a great little glue stick. And since I really flunked glue in kindergarten, I mean, I get it everywhere. Something like this makes it really easy for me to do this, which is glue based the edges of the t-shirt together so they don't roll on me. So now I'm going to go ahead and serge it all together with the Amber Air serger. Whoops, sorry about that. Equipment malfunction. Hang in there with me. Okay. So hopefully you can see this. I'm my own camera operator today, which is always not a good thing, but I'd like to get this finished and out there. So what I'm going to do is just run this side seam all the way up through the sleeve and sew it back together. And I'm just going to kind of angle into it. Down. And there we go. This isn't going to take long at all. See how easy it is? I don't have to, with it glue based, I don't have to fuss with the edges to try to get it to stitch together. Sorry about that. Okay, there we go. That part's done. So the last thing I have, the only thing I have left is I'm going to wash the t-shirt to get all the water-soluble stabilizer out of it, and then we're done. Okay, so here's the sleeve of my t-shirt all stitched out, and I decided it needed a little bit more for when I don't have my apron on, and so I sewed this Urban Threads sewing machine on it too. You can do it. It's really easy. Have fun.